Hello, Steven.
Hello, Alex. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you doing there?
Oh, fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much. Beautiful day. How's the weather?
The weather is nice here too, but it's frosty. The
Oh,
temperature around zero. And how is
oh.
it in Mexico?
Very nice. We'll probably get maybe 27 degrees, something like that today. But it's early, very early morning. So by 2 o'clock, it'll be a lot hotter. But
Nice,
good luck
nice,
with the
nice.
weather.
And I think we will make an interview about Mexico, about Mexican life. But today it's not very interesting, probably one. So you came from the USA to Mexico a week ago? Oh, how long?
Oh, yeah. It's been about one full week. Last week,
Okay,
Thursdays, maybe 10 days.
good. And you came from climate like we have here, from
Exactly.
quite
Exactly.
cold
From the very
climates.
northern part of the United States. So that near zero weather turning to the next day to 25, 28 degrees here. So quite difference in the travel.
You look great, and
Oh,
I a bit envy because well we are looking for spring, but it hasn't come yet here. And
soon.
by the way, you said that you have a permanent position as a teacher of English at Mexican University, so my congratulations.
Oh, thank you. It's really just a full-time temporary position.
Okay.
It's just for 3 months, and then I move on to another school come August,
Oh
another
yes.
university, another college. So it's just a temporary 3 months, and then on to another one. But thank you for your congratulations, Alex.
Nice, 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 because you teach our students, you teach students around the globe, and you agreed to continue our interview. So let's start the interview with the music. And again, it's a very, very old song. It was popular in the USSR, and at that time I was leaving school, leaving high school. It was 1975, and probably
Okay.
you were going into kindergarten.
Not
Oh,
quite, but just about. Okay.
oh my God. So let's listen to American band, the same band which we listen to and which you don't like, but do me a favor,
Okay.
please listen.
Sure, of course.
I've seen the yellow lights go down the Mississippi. I've seen the bridges of the world and they're for real. I've had a red light on the wrist without me even getting kissed. It still seems so unreal. I've seen the morning in the mountains of Alaska. I've seen the sunset in the east and in the west. I sang the glory that was roaming past the hound dog singers home. It still seems for the best. And I'm far, far away, with my head up in the clouds. And I'm far, far away, with my feet down in the crowds. Letting loose around the world. But the call of home is loud, still as loud.
Alright, so it's about general meaning about traveling and about coming home. But the topic of today's interview is media, and quite famous Japanese writer Haruki Murakami uses a metaphor in one of his novels to shovel cultural snow. Take a shovel and shovel cultural snow, and he explains it. The main character of the book, of his book, is a writer, and he works for women's magazines and similar editions, not very serious editions. And he shovels cultural snow. He writes for advertising, and he says he shovels cultural waste. And another quote by Murakami, it is, waste is the highest virtue which one can achieve in our advanced capitalist society. So we live, at least you live, in an advanced capitalism society. So what do you think about media in this advanced capitalism society? Do media shovel the cultural snow? How do I understand media in your society, advanced capitalism society? By the way, we are following your way. So.
Oh, I don't know if that's a good idea to follow our way.
Okay.
Good luck with that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So, shoveling cultural snow. First of all, let's talk a little bit about that phrase. That's an interesting phrase, and I think it's the idea of understanding different cultures and moving along in life, understanding different cultures, which is a good thing. I like that. And as far as media is concerned, does the media shovel cultural snow? I would assume so, but you know, we had an interview last time regarding corporation, and I think this kind of goes hand in hand, because I think it might go along with what is the mode of society. If there's a specific culture that the corporations and the media want to impact, they'll follow that. So I'm not too sure what to say here, Alex. As far as does the media, I assume they have an impact or an influence on the culture, and maybe a little bit different too as we look at our different countries and the cultures that we have within our countries. I can't say for sure, but I think the United States has one of those eclectic, very well mixed cultures that you might not see or find in the rest of the world. Now, Russia is huge. Oh, go ahead, Alex. Yeah, I think
sorry, unfortunately, you don't understand the idea because you didn't read the book. I read it, and when he says the phrase shovel cultural snow, he means working for all these glossy women's magazines and all these absolutely useless advertising magazines and newspapers. He says that he works absolutely he works without special idea or goal or aim. He just does useless work. He wastes his time. He just get money from the publisher, and he shovels cultural snow. Absolutely useless work. And I took this quote because what do you think about media? Do they give us real information, or they just shovels cultural snow? How do you feel about it?
Okay, thank you for explaining that. I think it was an error in my understanding of the word cultural, and I was thinking something different. But as far as the media and what they give on to culture, their specific followers. I think it depends on how we categorize media. Because if we look at media as television,
Fine.
if we look at media as radio,
Fine.
as just magazines,
Fine.
or news programs,
Fine.
I think all of them have their very specific categories because they all have different followers. So if you grab and look at piece of media that
Yes.
might be written for the intellect, for educators,
Okay.
and for the scholars, I think that's based on facts. But if you go to the other side, when we look at the media as far as radio announcements
Yes.
and TV programs and newspapers, I think that all depends as well, Alex, on who their followers are. Because we have these categories within the culture that say, okay, I want to follow that, and they tell me what to think and tell me what to do, and you can sway those people.
Okay.
And I think that's a little bit sad in one sense, because they don't think on their own. They're kind of like, well, the media said this, and they don't check the facts behind that. That's very scary. And then you have the other side, as I mentioned, that kind of, you have the intellects that follow and the educators and so on. And now let's go back to the other side. Whether it's, let's take news media. And then within that, we have our categories. The government-led news media, to the extreme, the public, the non-funded public media, and you can really see and hear the difference. It's a real extreme on the other side of the rainbow, so to speak.
Great.
It's funded by the government, and the government wants them to hear and say. And the other side, where we have what the public wants to know. And within that, I think the ones that kind of lead the way for the public, I think there's a passion behind that. And I don't think that's that shoveling of cultural waste or cultural snow. But the other side might be. Where it's kind of, the government says, here, we're going to fund you. You tell the people what we want to hear, let them hear and know, and we're going to keep a little bit secret, and a little maybe brainwashing behind that, etc. And those that are in that area might have an interest in journalism and an interest in broadcasting, but they also get kind of spoon-fed of what they should and can say, etc. That might be the side of the cultural waste mentioned by this Japanese author.
Thank you, because I think it's exactly what I wanted to hear. And another question, money can talk. It's another expression, and you mentioned it right now. So do you think that media have too much power?
Oh, probably. Again, especially if it is funded by a specific organization or corporation. Using that term again. If it's publicly funded by donations, by individuals, that doesn't get swayed as much. But I really believe corporations, organizations with power, with money, can, I don't know, motivate or kind of lead in a direction of how some news should be broadcasted. And not just news. You talk about media, it could be news, but it also could be fashion. It can be world politics. It can be Hollywood and how they want the public to view that.
Nice. So, again, a little nostalgia. We had in the USSR the newspaper with a controversial name, The Truth, Pravda, where all materials were strictly censored, of course, but I would say now it published more truth than we can see now and hear from modern media. How is today's media different from, let's say, 30 years ago media in the US?
This is an interesting one. I like how you brought that up, and your publication, The Truth, by its title itself makes me chuckle a little bit.
Yes.
And I'll tell you one way where media has changed, and not from news media, but from magazines, if you permit me. 30 years ago, the popular magazines in the United States were called Life magazine and Time magazine.
Okay.
And it had to do with the world and the people around the world,
okay,
and life around the world. And then that kind of got narrowed down a little bit into what was called People magazine.
Okay.
And that kind of talked about the generations that you lived in and the people around you a little bit closer. And it gets narrowed down now to these titles that reflect upon me, these me, self magazine, the me magazine. So you can see how the media has really focused on the individual, and I think that's a shame.
Okay.
Because the person is important, but I think we're forgetting that people are part of a society, and that society is part of the world. So that's one way it's changed in the United States. We're focused more on the me, the individual, and not other people are as important. And I would love, on a personal matter, for us to go back the other way, to start focusing back on the society, the people, and the world again. But we're losing that. In fact, I think we've even lost that, unfortunately. So that's a media perspective here in the United States.
Nice answer. Interesting answer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Media has a lot of power.
Oh yes.
Do people fear the media, or do they trust, or do they believe or fear?
Media, unless the media really influences the majority of the society. Because if that starts to happen and the people start to believe in what the media says wholly, with all of their heart and all of their head, then media is leading the people and not the other way around. For example, maybe 20 years ago, there was this news broadcast about, believe it or not, this shark attack that happened off the coast of California. And an unfortunate person got killed by a shark. And within that week, there was a shark attack off the coast of the Atlantic coast. I forgot what state. So the other side of the United States. And somebody got hurt or maybe killed by this shark. And the media took that it's never safe to swim anywhere. The sharks are attacking. And the people started believing this. And all the beaches started to be abandoned in Florida and the South and the West Coast because of 2 shark attacks that happened within the same week. And the media took this to say, sharks are attacking, don't go swimming. And the people went into a frenzy about this. So this is where media has this great influence on the people when they really don't think about it a little bit and, again, use their own judgment, etc., etc. So yes, I think it can be dangerous if the media leads the people.
Interesting again. And yes, because you are talking about specific life in the US, and it's your special points of view. By the way, would you like to work for media? If yes, for what kind of media you would like to work for?
Well, if I worked in media, and if it was, yeah, I could. Now that you think about it. If it was public broadcasting,
Right.
probably not television, maybe television, radio broadcast, but public-led.
Okay.
And within my area of interest, like what we do in our talk shows, our
Right.
interviews here,
Right.
in my areas of interest, etc. Yeah, I think I could. I'm not a professional in it, but I could think that would be fun to try. Alex, maybe you swayed me into giving up teaching. Maybe I'm going to go into broadcasting. Thank you, Alex. All right. Thank you. No more classes.
No more boring job, only interview with celebrities and famous people. But look,
Yeah.
probably our talk with you, I wouldn't say that it's very popular, but still we have some listeners
Oh, good. Thank you.
on net. Yes, and you know, I think that we have a advantage because you know, we are not connected with anyone. We just have personal relations, and what we say, it's in our brain, it's in our hearts, and that's why probably we are more trusty than all other kinds of medias. But
I agree.
okay, nevertheless, I think this is all about boring things, and let's listen again something real from the 1970s.
Very good.
Good, thank you.
Thank you.